Look at that pretty tree. I'm so pleased with it. I really wanted to get better at building trees, so I thought I'll give it another go. And I really do like the way it's turned out. This is probably one of the best trees that I've ever made in Minecraft. I built a cog next to the tree as well, just to give it the little arch area, because as you come in here, this is what you're greeted with. And it's a nice little touch. Shame about the portal though. I've had 5 different designs for a portal, and I don't like any of them. Until I get one right, it's going to stay like that. And I've attempted to make the path look a little bit better, because I'm not a big fan of just path blocks by itself. I like to mix it up a little bit. So I've got some of this packed dirt and some coarse dirt as well, just to mix it in. And I've attempted to connect this building to the land, so I've put a bit of moss blocks in here as well, and I've added some azalea leaves to my 2 custom trees over there, because the oak leaves by themselves are just, it's a bit too much the same green, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to add different shades of green to some of these trees just to make them pop a little bit more, because they kind of merge in with each other. But that's a future problem for future me. This would have to be moved because it's ugly. So I'm probably going to make a proper farm setup for this. So I'm not coming in and doing this manually. Some things I like doing manually though, like gathering crops. But anyway, hello and welcome back to another episode with me, Metal Jack. In this episode, I am going to make the most aggressive sheep farm you ever seen. On this server, the end has been reset, so I think I'm going to go and grab some more elytra, because there was a time when I was getting the terracotta for the sugarcane farm. I died, and I had to run all the way there to get my elytra back, which sucked, obviously. So as much as I hate the end with a passion, I'm going to have to go and get some more elytra. And while I'm at it, some more shulker boxes. I only have 2, and they were gifted to me. So let's get the end busting out of the way, shall we? Oh dear. There's me, all guns blazing, ready to go into the end, and I forgot food. I forgot I wasn't wearing a helmet. I forgot my bow. So I had to come back and do some trading with these guys to upgrade my stuff. So now I have an Unbreaking 3 Flame Power 5 Infinity Bow. That was better than my other one. Right, a quick pop to the shopping district to get some rockets, and then we're on our way. Let's get it over with. I really hope they do an update in the future, because other than coming here to get elytra and shulker boxes, I mean, what's the point? It's not much to look at. It's not pretty. It's not nice. I hate it. Right, our first one. Let's go and get the elytra. I think I'm going to visit one more, and that will be it. And after an hour, the second one. Finally, a way out. Man, that was a chore, but I'm glad it's over. Right, in the shulker box is what I managed to get in the end. Got 3 elytra, 3 pickaxes. Well, you could see for yourself. Not too shabby. I have decided to cover this area with mud, packed mud. And to do that, I need a lot of wheat. So I'm going to make a moss farm, so we can get all the bone meal, so we can get all the wheat, so that we can make all the packed mud to terraform this place. There's a lot of steps. So the question is, where am I going to build it? I might build it where we started. The sheep have moved. They're over in the new location for later. So yeah, we're going to put the moss farm here, and the mud farm is just down there, so we kind of need them together really. I have no design whatsoever for the moss farm, just the moss farm. So yeah, it's going to look a bit ugly and have exposed redstone, but it won't be forever. We'll cover it up. I'll think of something. So let's quickly do that, and then we can move on to the next step. with the moss farm now complete, we could convert all that moss into bone meal. And we could use that bone meal in this little micro machine. This is a very simple design and it's very noisy. We get the bone meal, put the bone meal in here. I don't know if it's all... I have been using it. So let's try it with the amount of bone meal that we have in there. It is very noisy, but it works. We can get all the wheat that we need for the packed mud. I could have made this bigger, but I think this is a pretty good size for my needs. We've got a simple hopper clock here that times everything because we don't want it running too fast because we'll get cobblestone. And we don't want cobblestone. This is not my design. I found it on YouTube. Many good things on YouTube. So now we have a way to get all the wheat that we need to make packed mud to then terraform where the villager trading hall is. And just to make it easier to get to the moss farm, I did make a path down here which goes right past the mud farm, which is handy. So we can take all the wheat that we have, come down here and convert it all into packed dirt. Lovely. So I've done this a couple of times now. So I've left a shulker box here. So we've got half a shulker already, which is great news. But I'm not going to start terraforming until I've got maybe a full shulker box full of the packed dirt. So while the moss farm is ticking away, I'm going to start doing the sheep farm. I have brought all the sheep over here and I have coloured every single one of them as well. So we got 16 sheep here. And I cleaned out a little bit of the grass as well because I want this farm to be sitting on kind of a rocky area. So it's a bit rough at the moment, but it's just giving me a rough guide. I'm going to build the farm and then terraform around it. So without any further ado, let's get building. It just occurred to me that there is one step that we could avoid, and that is taking the stuff from the chest and putting it over into the composter. So why don't we just hook both of them up together? I mean, no need for moss right now, so I can get rid of all of it. And there we go. So this area is self-sufficient. Haha. When I do decide that I want moss, I can just remove it. Anyway, let's get back to the build. Ow. Sheep farm assembled. The most aggressive looking sheep farm I have ever made. Usually when I build sheep farms, they're just in a barn or something like that. But this, woohoo! After I designed it, I tried to redo the barrels so I could have the wool kind of shooting out of the barrels into some kind of storage system. But it just didn't look right. But really, it's about the story of this place. You know, this walking tank was designed to take out some of the robots. But the villagers, instead of dismantling it, they stuck the sheep in here to collect wool. That's right. The villagers in this world are quite intelligent and peaceful, but now it's built and it's working. We just need to sort out the terrain because it does look a bit bleh. So we're going to have the rocky area here and then slowly blend in to the packed mud. So the terrain is going to be a slight challenge because we're going from a greeny area to a kind of dried up barren area. So we need to make sure that we tie them in quite nicely. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And we're going to have to add villager built houses. I think I mentioned that in the last episode, but we got distracted with farms and all the farms. And I've made a start in doing the interior in here, and I brought these guys up here. Hello. Because I want the floor to look kind of ripped up. Got little holes everywhere, and they've tried to fix it up with some planks. And I thought it would be pretty cool to have a kind of pond in here as well, because I've got 2 axolotls. So we could chuck them in here, just to beautify this area a little bit. Not too much. So yeah, I'm going to add some more details, some decorations, and maybe some greenery coming off the edges, just to rough it up a little bit. And the enchanting table is obviously moved. I created a little room here that I haven't decorated yet, but I've just stuck it here for now. And I've just added some bookshelves here as well, just to fill in the gaps. So in between episodes, I'm going to do a little bit more interior in here, and I'll show you when it's all done. And look at the sunset. Right, and that will be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, make sure to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see you later.